She was born into beauty, raised in privilege, and thrust into the spotlight before she could legally drive. But Gigi Hadid isn't just another pretty face. She's a powerhouse, a brand, and the modern face of ultra-luxury living. From the runways of Paris to a multi-million-dollar Manhattan penthouse, her life looks effortless. But behind the flashbulbs and fashion shows, there's a relentless engine of fame, family pressure, and carefully curated perfection. What's it really like inside the diamond-dusted world of Gigi Hadid? Let's find out. From Malibu roots to global runways, Gigi Hadid was born into a world that most could only dream of. Her mother, Yolanda Hadid, a Dutch-born model and future reality TV star, raised her in the luxury-soaked hills of Malibu. Her father, Mohammed Hadid, was a millionaire real estate developer with a penchant for palatial mansions and exotic cars. Childhood was a blur of horseback riding lessons, oceanfront estates, and A-list neighbors. But it wasn't all glitz. Yolanda ran her household with military precision. Gigi wasn't allowed to coast. Modeling, school, athletics, everything required excellence. At just 2 years old, she was already posing for baby Guess. By her teens, she had a portfolio most adults would envy. Still, the industry wasn't kind. Despite her connections, Gigi had to fight off accusations of nepotism at every turn. For every campaign she booked, there was a whisper. Would she be here without her last name? But Gigi didn't just model. She trained. She studied poses, practiced catwalks, and kept her body in peak condition. She wasn't just born into beauty. She weaponized it. By 2014, she exploded onto the scene. Her debut at New York Fashion Week wasn't just noticed, it was a declaration. Gigi Hadid had arrived, and she wasn't leaving. The supermodel machine, how Gigi took over fashion. Gigi's rise wasn't an accident, it was a calculated takeover. She became a fixture on the runways of Versace, Chanel, Balmain, and Victoria's Secret. Her blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and sun-kissed Californian energy made her the antidote to high fashion's often cold, detached aesthetic. She brought warmth, humanity, relatability wrapped in couture. But behind the smile, the hustle never stopped. Gigi booked up to 40 shows in a single season, crisscrossing the globe from Milan to Paris to Tokyo. Her schedule dictated not by desire, but by demand. She was in, and the industry wanted more. Campaigns for Maybelline, Reebok, Tommy Hilfiger, and Stuart Weitzman rolled in like an avalanche. But Gigi didn't just pose. She co-designed. She co-branded. She took equity where other models took checks. By 25, she had moved beyond muse to mogul. She mastered the game of social media, using Instagram to cultivate a digital empire. With tens of millions of followers, Gigi became her own magazine cover, her own billboard. She didn't wait for Vogue, she became bigger than Vogue. Every smile was a strategy, every red carpet a chessboard. The girl from Malibu had become fashion's queen, with no plans of stepping down. Inside her $29 million Manhattan sanctuary, at the heart of Gigi Hadid's luxury life lies her private sanctuary, a $29 million penthouse in Manhattan's chic NoHo district. Tucked inside a discreet building with 24-hour security and a no-photo policy, her residence is less apartment, more urban palace. But it's not just the price tag that shocks, it's the detail. Gigi personally oversaw the design, filling the space with hand-painted ceramics, vintage Moroccan rugs, and contemporary artwork sourced from her global travels. The color palette is bold, eclectic, and defiantly personal, far from the cold, monochrome minimalism of typical celebrity homes. The kitchen? Instagram famous. Mismatched cabinets, bright tiles, and open shelving stocked with artisan spices and handmade bowls. It's chaotic, curated, and unapologetically Gigi. The master bedroom boasts floor-to-ceiling windows with views of downtown Manhattan. Her walk-in closet resembles a boutique. Rows of designer heels, custom couture, and iconic Met Gala gowns preserved in glass. There's also a private yoga studio, a soundproofed nursery for her daughter Kai, and an indoor garden she built during lockdown. For Gigi, the home isn't just a place to sleep. It's a fortress, a canvas, and a crown jewel in her lifestyle empire. Here, inside these walls, Gigi sheds the cameras and the catwalk. But even in privacy, the luxury never fades. Designer cars, private jets, and runway residences. While Gigi Hadid's presence dominates the world's fashion capitals, her mode of travel is anything but standard. The supermodel moves like royalty, rarely commercial, often in style. Private jets are her preferred mode of transportation, chartered on demand to whisk her between continents. Whether it's Paris Fashion Week or a quick getaway to the Hadid family farm in Pennsylvania, Gigi flies on her own terms. She's been spotted boarding Gulfstream G550s and Bombardier Global 6060s, sleek sky palaces offering complete privacy and comfort. Her in-flight routine, designer loungewear, herbal teas, and sometimes even bringing along her daughter, Kai, with a full staff in tow. On land, the glamour continues. Her car collection is a blend of subtle elegance and head-turning horsepower. A matte black Range Rover for day-to-day errands. A Mercedes-Benz G-Class SUV customized with camel leather interior. And tucked into a Manhattan parking garage, a rare Porsche Taycan, Gigi's silent electric rocket, used for quiet nighttime drives through the city, but her true power move? Owning homes on both coasts. In addition to her Manhattan penthouse, Gigi maintains a residence in Beverly Hills and frequently visits her mother's countryside retreat in Pennsylvania, where rustic charm meets designer tranquility. Every destination in Gigi's world has a curated vibe. From runway residencies in Milan to barefoot beach hideaways in the Caribbean, she doesn't just travel, she transforms every place she lands into an extension of her brand. The lifestyle is lavish, but never loud, controlled opulence, always on her terms. Hadid dynasty, bloodlines of beauty and power. Behind Gigi, Hadid's singular spotlight is a family as glamorous and as strategically positioned as any in modern celebrity culture. The Hadids aren't just a household name, they're a dynasty. Her mother, Yolanda Hadid, set the tone early. A model-turned matriarch, Yolanda drilled discipline, health, and visual perfection into her children from a young age. On The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, viewers saw the rigor: almond-only diets, early workouts, modeling etiquette. Critics called it harsh. Yolanda called it preparation. Then there's Bella Hadid, Gigi's younger sister and fierce runway rival. While Gigi embodies sun-kissed California chic, Bella channels high-fashion noir. Together, they dominate campaigns, magazine covers, and catwalks, occasionally walking the same show in calculated succession. Sibling rivalry? Perhaps. But publicly, the sisters maintain an unshakable front. Their brother, Anwar Hadid, dipped into both modeling and music, famously dating Dua Lipa for several years. The Hadid siblings don't just ride fame, they rotate headlines. And behind them all is Mohammed Hadid, the real estate mogul and architect of the family's initial fortune. His sprawling Bel Air mansions and legal controversies have occasionally cast shadows, but Gigi has expertly distanced her brand from the noise. Together, the Hadids move like a corporation, coordinated, curated, and camera-ready. In a world where fame can fracture families, they've turned bloodlines into branding. Motherhood behind the velvet rope. In September 2020, Gigi Hadid stepped into the most intimate, transformative role of her life: motherhood. The birth of her daughter Kai, shared with ex-partner Zayn Malik, marked a dramatic shift in her ultra-public narrative. Suddenly, the supermodel who once walked Victoria's Secret runways was raising a child behind velvet ropes of extreme privacy. The pregnancy was mostly hidden. No flashy maternity shoots, no paparazzi parades. Just a few ethereal portraits posted on her terms, in her time. Gigi made one thing clear: her child's life would not be a public commodity. In her Manhattan penthouse, Gigi created a sanctuary for Kai, a nursery hand-painted in soft earth tones, organic baby products, a rotating staff of nannies and security, all carefully vetted. The rules: no face shots, no press access, not even family members could post without permission. When she returned to the runway, it was subtle. Select shows, short trips, a balance struck not for image, but for identity. Gigi didn't want to give up modeling. but she refused to let it consume her role as a mother. Her relationship with Zayn eventually dissolved, but Gigi's co-parenting remains, by all accounts, deeply committed. The two maintain boundaries, but reportedly prioritize Kai's well-being above all. For Gigi, motherhood didn't interrupt her luxury life. It elevated it. She's no longer just modeling clothes. She's modeling control. Brand boss, Gigi's empire beyond the catwalk. While Gigi Hadid built her fame on the runway, she's now building something even more formidable, an empire that stretches far beyond the flash of Fashion Week. Modeling was just the beginning. Today, Gigi is a brand in motion, controlled, scalable, profitable. In 2016, her first major pivot came through a collaborative collection with Tommy Hilfiger. What could have been a basic brand ambassadorship became a global fashion phenomenon. The Tommy x Gigi line sold out in hours, spawned international tours, and positioned her not just as a model, but a designer. Then came beauty. Gigi partnered with Maybelline to launch exclusive lines of makeup that reflected her personal aesthetic. Beachy neutrals, effortless glam, West Coast cool, products flew off shelves. Her face, already iconic, became the front of a billion-dollar industry. But Gigi isn't just chasing cash grabs, she's strategic. She's turned down offers that didn't align with her core values. Instead, she's invested in female-led startups, in sustainability-driven fashion houses, in wellness and skincare brands that match her clean living image. In 2022, she launched Guest in Residence, a luxury knitwear line designed to reflect timeless comfort over trend chasing. The line marked a new phase, Gigi as entrepreneur, CEO, curator of aesthetic and quality. And yet, she's kept full creative control. No faceless licensing deals, no silent partnerships. Every move she makes is deliberate. Because Gigi Hadid isn't just selling beauty, she's selling a lifestyle, one that she owns entirely. Fame, pressure, and the price of perfection. To the outside world, Gigi Hadid's life seems effortless, cushioned by cashmere and carried by fame. But behind the curated Instagram grid lies a different reality. Relentless pressure, invasive scrutiny, and the suffocating demand to be perfect, always. From an early age, her life was public property. Every outfit dissected, every relationship scrutinized. Her postpartum body became a headline. Her parenting choices sparked debates. And when she disappeared from social media for weeks at a time, speculation ran wild. Friends say she battles anxiety, that she's grown increasingly private, that even in rooms full of flashing lights, she often craves silence. The world praises her for being real in an industry built on illusion. But even Gigi admits, being authentic in the spotlight is an impossible balancing act. One wrong move, one misunderstood post, and the backlash is instantaneous. She's been burned by tabloids, betrayed by insiders, and had to fight for privacy in a world that doesn't believe she deserves it. And yet, she endures. Because Gigi Hadid didn't just inherit fame. She learned to wield it like a blade, carefully, cautiously, without ever letting it cut too deep. Her world may be ultra-luxurious, but the toll? It's very real. She's built a life of dreams, but she pays for it in pressure. Gigi Hadid lives in a world of velvet ropes, private jets, and curated perfection. But behind the glam is a woman mastering her empire while battling the shadows that come with it. For more revealing looks behind fame and fortune, subscribe and share your thoughts below.